What's good, y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Petey Mac. Man, get on up here. Pull you up one, light you up one, kick your shoes off. Relax, baby. You around family. We on the porch. It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this. What's good, family? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Petey Mac, and we back on the porch once again. How y'all been since last week? I know I didn't put this episode out yesterday, but I was getting some rest. You know, it was 4th of July weekend. I was taking that day off. I actually went out and worked out. I ran and went to the gym. Man, I'm trying to just be healthier and trying to, you know, get some hustle, turn this hustle into muscle, you know what I'm saying? But ever since I started, y'all, I'm down 7 pounds. I ain't gonna tell you where I'm at now. I ain't gonna tell you where I started from. But y'all went to a park that's in close proximity to my house with a big wide track around the park. So I know that 3 laps around that's over a mile definitely, man. And I was into it, man. I'm gonna tell you how into it and y'all gonna laugh. I actually was playing the theme from the old Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. On there, I played the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1 for my first lap. My second lap, I did the Chemical Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And then my third lap, I did, you know, like him getting the ring so he can go get the emeralds. The emerald run, you know, you know what I'm talking about. Y'all did that, man. Knocked out 3 laps, then went to the gym, hit the weight bench. You know, I'm trying to get right. I wasn't worried about being summertime fine. I'm going to be fine all year round. Summer, spring, winter, fall, you dig? So, yeah, that's what I did yesterday. So, after I did that, I just came back and I rest. Couple things have happened since I left. So, I went to go see that Formula One racing movie with Brad Pitt and Damon Idris, who y'all know is Franklin from Snowfall. Pretty decent movie. I just say it's very long and stretched out, man. Like, that's clearly for F1 heads, like fans of F1 racing and all that, because a lot of them racing sequences, they dragged out everything. And we didn't really get to see Damon. We didn't get to see his, like, a lot of that raw acting we saw he did in Snowfall, which I won't even know how to take it, because he actually was using his original British dialect, because he's, of course, he's playing a British guy now. And it was weird to hear him talk British, even though that's his native tongue. It just, we so used to see him as Franklin with that LA accent. Like I said, if you know me, when I watched the show, I knew from first time I heard it, I knew he was British, because it sounded too exaggerated. That's the only, like I'm telling y'all, that's the only thing that I saw that you could consider a flaw. I don't even really consider it a flaw, but if one want to call it a flaw, it's the only thing that I saw in his acting in Snowfall. Like, I remember telling my friend, like, 2 episodes in the first season, I'm like, that guy's British. And they're like, he British? How you know? I said, bro, his LA accent is too exaggerated. I said, he killing it. His acting is on point. It's above on point. But I said, that dude British. They showed the interview, and my friend like, what? I said, I told y'all. I said, I knew he was British. I knew that LA accent was too exaggerated. But like I said, it's a good movie for me. Just too long and drawn out. I wouldn't watch it again, but it wasn't a bad watch. I mean, great way to spend the afternoon, because that's what I like to do. I like to, if I'm completely bored, I don't feel like going out to the park, I can't really get no inspiration to write, and I just really don't want to sit there and binge watch nothing on TV. I look for a movie that's playing, and I go take in a matinee. I've always been like that. I mean, I've always been in the movies. Like, ever since I've been a little boy, I've been in the movies. And just, if it's a nice clip that I'm going to go watch the movie, then I'm going to go give me something to eat. Then, 9 times out of 10, that's going to be my day. And hey, like I said, I'm 36, I'm on. So ain't a lot of turning up for me, man. Especially with the 4th of July, it's not really a turn up for us, if you know what I mean, because that ain't our Independence Day. Oh yeah, speaking of Independence Day and everything, the Essence Fest is going on in New Orleans, Louisiana. And Jill Scott gave a beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. She did it where she changed the lyrics and was talking about the racism America has oppressed black people with. All y'all need to go on social media, go on YouTube, and look up Jill Scott's rendition of the Star Spangled Banner at Essence Fest 2025. Man, it was powerful. Boy, I threw a fist in there for that one. Like, if that don't wake you up, I don't know what will. Cause the queen put it down. And as always, she was very nice on the eye. That is a beautiful woman there. But I've always said that about women from Philly, y'all. I've always said the women from Philly look like Eve and Jill Scott, but they act like Beanie Siegel and Bernard Hopkins. But yeah, she showed her fighter spirit when she had that song. Now we also got some kind of bad news out of Essence. Our favorite auntie that either is late as hell or never shows up, Lauryn Hill, she catching flack again. Apparently she didn't hit the stage until like the little concert they had on the end of the first day. She didn't hit the stage till like 2:33 in the morning. And people are dragging her for being late and all this, that, and the third. Now, I've heard reports from people who were there saying that wasn't Lauren's fault because they started at 2.5 hours late. But I've also heard this. Who got up on stage in front of her was Maxwell. Maxwell finished his set at 1:30. Even looked at the crowd and said, I know it's late, y'all. Good night. She had the crowd waiting for a whole hour until 2:30. You know what? We finna coin a phrase now for that type of behavior. If you, because we know we got that one saying if something gonna start late, you know that CP time. For those y'all don't know what CPT stand for, that's colored people time. That means it's gonna always be late. It's gonna usually be somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes later, up to 2 hours later than the original time. For now, for anybody we know that's probably gonna be at least 2 hours later or may not even show up at all, we're gonna call that Lauryn Hill time. That's LHT. So, you know, if you telling your friends that like, hey man, the thing gonna start at 3 o'clock, man, be on time. Don't be on LHT. Or, you know, you might got that one friend, but like, man, is Ricky coming, man? You know that nigga always on LHT, man. He may show up, he may not. But, yeah, I'm a corner phrase, but that poor lady she can't win for losing. I mean, even though it wasn't her fault, you still was an hour late, and it's just, but you know what, like I said, I've said this before. Posted a TikTok actually early this morning that looked like it's gonna do some numbers. I don't even blame her. I blame these promoters and these bookers because she's been doing this for over a decade. Like I said, I remember living in Atlanta, like right before I joined the Navy in 2013. I remember she's supposed to have a concert somewhere out there. I believe it was supposed to be at the Tabernacle, like Dave Chappelle was supposed to be at the Tabernacle because I ended up seeing him at the Tabernacle. She's supposed to have it another night there. And they just said she was late. Then it just became this whole string of her just being like, she's been doing this over a decade, man. And that's their fault because these people ain't putting stipulations in her clauses. They not taking her to court. So like I said, that's on the book. Me personally, I'm going to tell y'all what I do. I wouldn't even give her no deposit. I'd have the money loaded and say, what's your cash out? And when she showed, that's when I hit send. I wouldn't give her a red cent. Because it's crazy. We boosted up The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which was a great album. I'm not going to take that away from her because that album is one of the best albums in R&B and hip-hop history. Hell, as a matter of fact, if you go to the National African American History and Culture Museum in D.C., That's one of the albums they have on display for black music, for like hip hop and R&B section, as well as Outkast's Aquemini. That's one of the albums they have there on display that showcases the history of our music. But we blew that up and gave that woman a big ass. We made her a legend off that one album, and it made her ego go through the roof. So we created this and we did this. We made her be what she is right now. We can't really put all of that on her. So yeah, we did that. I mean, if ain't nobody gonna stop it, I don't see why she would quit doing it. And I'm gonna say this though about that. She really told us in the album how she was. Because if you remember the intro to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, when they was doing the roll call in class, they called Lauryn name. She wasn't even there. So she tried to tell us on the introduction to that album how she was. We didn't listen. Like Maya Angelou always said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And I rise. So, like I said, that one's on us. I mean, yeah, granted, like I said, I know Essence Fest, they was like running late, but then again, like I said, y'all, this black people, man, I don't know why we as black people, after centuries, we know how we are, we still be coming, expecting stuff gonna be organized and punctual. We got to come prepared, knowing we dealing with each other. I love us. Because yes, I'm gonna start late, but it's gonna be a vibe once it starts, which is Essence Fest is always gonna be a vibe, because here you in New Orleans, you got great music, all the most beautiful people in the world. I mean, plus the beautiful women, beautiful people out there in New Orleans. Because boy, I can listen to a woman from New Orleans talk all day. And great food. So it's gonna always be a vibe when we as people get together. But we gotta do better, man, when it comes to organization and punctuality. But it is what it is, man. Okay, so last week, if y'all heard my episode last week, I did my top 5 favorite white movies. And I wanna make an amendment to that. I put one movie in there where I love that movie. It shouldn't have been in there. What movie? The Hangover. I want to substitute that for Anchorman with Will Ferrell and Christina Applegate, because I don't know why I didn't put that up, because I love Anchorman, because you know it had, like I said, Will Ferrell, Christina Applegate, Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, Fred Willard, R.I.P. My man Jack Black had a cameo in there. Vince Vaughn had a cameo in there. Tim Robbins, y'all know him as Andy Dufresne from Shawshank Redemption, had a cameo in there. Ben Stiller, who at that time was killing it. I don't know why he wasn't one of the main cast members, had a cameo in there. So it was just loaded with talent and loaded with comedy. And I love it for 2 reasons, because, well, like I said, one, it had all the people. 2, it was in San Diego. I lived in San Diego. So now I can identify all the areas he was saying. I'm going to be honest with you. In the Navy, when people find out they're going to San Diego, we actually ask somebody, where you getting orders to? Where you going to school at, man? Hey, where you going TDY? That's like when they send you somewhere for like a couple weeks to a couple months. And we'll always just say that, we'll say, Whale's vagina. Because if y'all seen Anchorman, you know when he was telling Ron Burgundy, Will Ferrell's character, was telling Veronica Cornerstone, Christina Applegate's character, he's like, I think it was named after the German, their name is San Diego, which is German for whale's vagina. So you can go anywhere in the Navy, and 9 times out of 10, somebody, where you go, when they're referring to San Diego, they be like, man, I got to go to whale's vagina, man. So, definitely was a great movie. And I found this out from one of my supervisors in the Navy I had in the past. We were watching it on the ship, and they showed the sign for the Mexican restaurant where Veronica was meeting up with the other women in the newsroom. They was having a dinner where one of the coworkers revealed to her that Ron will read anything you put on teleprompter. If you look at the sign, it was written in Spanish. My supervisor at the time, he was of Spanish descent, and he told me, said, you know what that sign says, don't you? I said, no. He says, that sign said, we spit in your food. And I looked it up, and like it legit, that sign for the Mexican restaurant was, we spit in your food. So it's always hidden gems in that movie. So yeah, I want to take The Hangover out, still a great movie, and I wanted to replace that with Anchorman. But that led me to one of my listeners, friend that listens to my show, my boy Cash, who's a comedian up in the Pacific Northwest. Y'all need to look him up on TikTok, Robert Cashmore. He doing his thing. He said, you know what you should do? He said, how about doing your 5 favorite white sitcoms? And I was like, I didn't really think about that. So I'm going to do my 5 favorite white sitcoms. Some of these are older sitcoms because I like older television. You know, I like the laugh track. You know, the sitcoms that don't have a laugh track don't mean they can't be funny, but I just like stuff. So some of these gonna be older. Well, shoot, a lot of these are really older because I don't think any of these are still filming anymore. But here they go. So at number 5, I'm gonna put Brooklyn Nine-Nine up there. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine because it's just, I like police shows. I don't know why for some reason, but I love police shows. Like if y'all listen to this, y'all know I was giving y'all season recaps of episodes of The Rookie. I love The Wire. I love a show that used to come on NBC called Homicide: Life on the Street, which was actually created by the guy who went on to create the writer, David Simon. And I'm mentioning Homicide because one of the people who on Homicide was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Love Miami Vice and New York Undercover. But it was funny to see a different change of pace and see like a police comedy. You know, all the all the zany stuff they get into, all the stuff that like Andy would get into, because I used to love Andy, how crazy he was, and it's like there's no way he shouldn't have been demoted or killed on the street. I don't know how he was, but the person who made the show move for me so much was Captain Holt, played by Andre Braugher, who, like I told y'all, he played Frank Pimpleton on Homicide: Life on the Street back in the day. And not just because he's a very serious, classically trained actor, but the way they had him playing Captain Holt and how deadpan he was, but how hilarious he was amazing. And the fact that they got him to play a gay man who just kind of he was gay, but it was like he didn't want preferential treatment for that. And then like the way they had sexual tension with him and the white female captain, it was like how they got sexual tension, but he's gay. But they told like how I think she tried to hit on him. She found out she's gay. She'd hold a vendetta against him ever since. It was funny to me. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Still go back and binge watch it to this day. Next on the list is Frasier. Now my sister used to like my sister Anna, she liked to watch Frasier. You know, she, the one I told y'all, graduated from Howard with a bachelor's in architecture, then went on to UC Berkeley and got a master's in city planning. I didn't really like understand it. Like I'd watch it when she'd be watching, and I'm just like, okay, this is just boring. But then I'd either watch it with her or like late night if I'm burning midnight oil, trying to, do my homework, get it done for the next day before I gotta go to school, and it'll come on and it'll just be something to just have some noise. I gotta have some noise. I can't do silence. Just complete silence makes me go fucking crazy. So I have it on for background for silence, and then the ending theme song just didn't make no sense. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs. I'm like, who the hell would eat tossed salad and scrambled eggs together? But then I got older, and I just said, I'm going to give Frasier a watch. Actually, it's pretty good, you know. Actually, I love the writing of it. Especially, I love the people that called Frasier on the show. Oh, those people was like the highlight of the show. They were so hilarious. And one of my favorite characters I love their father, Martin, because as highbrow as Frasier and his brother Niles was, Martin was just your everyday regular man. He just never tried to shit on him, making them feel like they better than him, but he never like changed who he was to try to keep up. He was like, this is who I am. I'm a man who worked the beat in a man who was a police officer, worked the beat in Seattle, got shot, I'm retired, I'm chilling with my dog Eddie. And that's all he was. Now what I liked about Frasier, so Frasier had his like producer Ross. And you know how most shows do, they'll have this male main character, the female main character, and then somebody they work with, and they always bumping heads, or don't see eye to eye on everything, or they friends, and then they'll have them cross that line. They never had them cross that line, and that was kind of different for a lot of sitcoms, so I enjoyed the fact that they never made them cross that line, but it definitely was some good, mature comedy. And then I also found out about why they did that with the tossed salad and scrambled eggs. And the creator said, we created that song because a lot of the people that called in them show wasn't making sense. And he said, don't nothing make no more least amount of sense than tossed salad and scrambled eggs going together. And I'm like, I see what you did. I get it. Now the next on my list, Curb Your Enthusiasm. For those of y'all who don't know, the Curb Your Enthusiasm, that's what Seinfeld should have been. You know, because a lot of people peg Seinfeld as, like, you know, one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. And I'm gonna be honest, I just never could get into it. I never could see the hype behind Seinfeld. I just didn't, because they say it's a show about nothing. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't like a show about nothing. A show has to have something about it. But Curb Your Enthusiasm follows the creator and head writer for Seinfeld, Larry David, and it came on HBO. Now, that's why I said Curb Your Enthusiasm is what Seinfeld is supposed to be, because it was more outlandish stuff, more just crazy stuff. And Larry, oh my God, the shit that Larry got into. Oh my God, Larry got into some of the most zany predicaments. Oh, he got into some of the most zany predicaments. Because it was just like, Larry, how does bad luck find a man like this? Or how did you just end up getting these situations? Like, his one situation he got into, and to this day, this is my favorite episode. Larry had took some medication that had him like just peeing uncontrollably. Like, he couldn't control how his pee streamed. So it was one part of the episode, he went to his friend's house. His friend had a religious painting of like Jesus in his bathroom, but he didn't have it hung up. So Larry went to pee, and pee was blowback and all, and just splattering everywhere, and some of it landed on the painting, but it landed like right underneath Jesus' eye. So he gets out, don't say anything. The friend goes to the bathroom like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, what you mean this is amazing? And then she brought the painting back and said, look, the painting is crying. Oh my God, this must really be a real holy painting. And you see Larry look at that, and Larry kind of look off, and he kind of just look at the camera like, oh shit. And I thought that was one of the funniest scenes on there. Oh man, that was hilarious. The next sitcom on my list, it's a sitcom that lasts for a long time on Fox. And it pretty much paints the picture of any man who's been married and has a family. And that's Married with Children. Married with Children is good, you know what I'm saying? I love it. Like when I was a little boy, I used to love it because it was just fun to me, like to see Christina Applegate as Kelly. You know, you want to see a pretty girl. Y'all remember her when I mentioned on Anchorman. You know, she pretty, to see the zany stuff Bud get into. And then, like, Al was just, like I said, he just was just funny, just a man, just roasting people in oblivion. Now, one thing I couldn't understand when I was little, I was like, why does Al hate Peg so much? Like, why is he? I'm like, man, you married to this beautiful woman. Why do you act like she gets on your nerves? That was until I got older. And you know, I dated a few Peg Bundys. Fine as hell, but ain't worth a damn. Don't want to do nothing. Just want to sit there and look cute and just the biggest pain in the ass you could ever imagine. So now I get it. I mean, I'm not married, I don't have a kid, but I get it, you know, because I, just like Al, had these dreams and ambitions. You know, you grow up, your life didn't go where you want to go, the way you wanted to go. You end up doing a job you don't want to do. Like him working as a shoe salesman. Oh my God. But like, I love Al because one thing about Al, hey, that man was a roast god. That man used to flame folks into oblivion. And then his organization he had with his friends, No Ma'am, but they was like anti-feminists. Oh my God. Y'all talk about Kevin Samuels. That man made Kevin Samuels like a Boy Scout. For real. He made Kevin Samuels like a Boy Scout. That man did not play when it came to how he felt about feminism and all that. And he was unapologetic with it. And also the one thing we got to put respect on Al Bundy. We talking about all my children. We need to talk about Al Bundy scoring 4 touchdowns in one game. Ain't nobody fucking with Al Bundy at Polk High School scoring 4 touchdowns in one game. Y'all ain't seeing my man Al Bundy, man. Y'all not seeing my man Al Bundy. So yeah, that was one, because like I said, now that I'm older, I totally get why Al was the way he is. I totally get it. Okay, so I told y'all there was Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Frasier, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Married with Children. Oh man, so I got a tie for first place on my white sitcoms. So these are two are tie, because it's like they interchangeable. We used to watch them. One I used to watch every night. The other one I used to watch every time I went over my grandma's house. So I'm going to put the one I watched when I used to go over my grandma's house first, because it came later than the other one. Tied for first place. So I'm going to call this 1B. For 1B, I got the Golden Girls. Love the Golden Girls. Like, oh my God, like Dorothy, Blanche, Rose, and Sophia. Oh my God, they got me through the Dodge. I love watching them. I gotta find out where they streaming at, because I need to start watching Golden Girls again. Like Dorothy with her sharp wit. Blanche with, you know, her still being she's still a honeypot. Rose with her sweet, innocent St. Olaf ways, but every now and again, Rose used to throw a zinger. And then my girl Sophia Petrillo, oh man, she was a G. She said what she gonna say, and she didn't care how you felt. I just love they showed that you can be older, but your life is not over. I love that show. But one of my favorite scenes was not, it was courtesy of Dorothy, but really wasn't her. It was a scene where Sophia was going to get married to somebody. And they had the gay caterer came in. The guy who played the gay caterer, y'all know me, I love Class Act with Kid and Play. That's the guy that played the principal on Class Act. He came in and told Dorothy, because Blanche had told the caterer, he's like, I'm the caterer, what's going on? We need to keep it moving. Blanche told the caterer, said, well, Dorothy doesn't approve. And he looked at Dorothy and said, she doesn't approve. He looked at Dorothy and said, now look here, Stretch. He said, hey, look, whatever problem you got with this marriage, you need to overlook it. He said, my mother did with my marriage, because it's evident he was being effeminate, he was gay. So my mother did with my marriage. And if you watch the show, you know Dorothy always was quick with a retort. So as soon as he said, my mother did with my marriage, Dorothy turned and looked at him and said, what I had to tell you, said, now, if you say something smart, I'm going to slap you silly. Now, as a little boy, I thought that it was just so funny because somebody shut Dorothy down because she was known for coming sharp with the comebacks. But when I got older and realized Buddy was gay and he knew that Dorothy was about to make a crack and he said that, oh my God, it became 10 times funny. But yeah, that show will never, you never get old to me. And the damn theme song is a banger. Thank you for being a friend. Oh, that's a banger. I've done it to a couple of female friends of mine. When it's their birthday, I'll call them and I'll start singing that. Yeah, so Golden Girls is 1B. Now 1A, my favorite white sitcom, and it actually was the sitcom that set the tone for all sitcoms, and it actually stayed on air for over 50 plus years. It never went off the air from the moment it came on in 1951 for over 50 some years. That is I Love Lucy. I've always loved I Love Lucy. I still go back every now and again, go on Pluto TV and watch episodes of I Love Lucy, and I laugh like it's the first time. That shout out to the late great Lucille Ball. That woman, she may never been a stand-up comedy, but when it comes to comedy, that woman was one of the GOATs of comedy. Every episode, she cooking up a new idea, dragging Ethel along with it. She going toe-to-toe with Ricky. You know, because you got to remember back in the 50s, you know, women were real subservient. They did with their husband. She was like, no, look, you my husband. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to let you have that power. But I'm still going to cook up what I'm going to cook up. You know, she set the precedence for, you know, pregnancy episodes. Before that, nobody was pregnant on TV. They didn't even let us say pregnant on there. Like how you got episodes of all sitcoms that became like the big trope in like the, I think starting in like the 70s all the way to like the 90s, where you had an episode where the character's about to have a baby. I think hers was the first episode to do that. They showed Ricky, Fred, and Ethel rehearsing what they gonna do when Lucy said she about to have a baby. They had it all down packed and they rehearsed, but then like a few minutes later, Lucy comes out and tell them, I'm about to have a baby, and then everybody forgot what they were supposed to do, and everybody was bumbling like, and it was hilarious. Like, that show gave us so many great TV moments, like some moments that's in the 100 greatest TV moments. Her telling Ricky that she was having a baby when he was singing Rockabye Baby to her. When he sang Rockabye Baby in his club. The chocolate eating episode, the grape stomping episode, the Vitamin Benjamin episode, she got messed up. I ain't even realized technically Lucy was on that lean in that episode. Lucy was leaning. So that is my top sitcom of all time. That is my list of white sitcoms. That's my list. I can watch them all day long. If somebody come up and watch me and they say, why you watching this white stuff? I'm like, cool story, bro. Sit down and shut the hell up and watch it. And I don't care. I watch them proudly, and I tell anybody proudly I love these shows. That's been my time on the porch, man. Until next week, y'all can follow me on social media, Facebook's my name, P. McCorvey. You can follow me on Instagram, PDMac10, PETYMAC10, or follow me on TikTok, it's PDMac89, same as Instagram. Drop the 1 and the 0, put the 8 and the 9 in this place. Until next week, y'all, be cool, stay calm, get paid. Peace.